Hello and welcome to this webinar by the Global Farmer Network. Today's session is focused on the access of technology by the farmers and the right to choose the tools that they need to feed a growing population. Let me tell you something about the Global Farmer Network, who is organizing this series of webinars. We were established in 2000 by farmers and still led by farmers. Our focus is to connect, empower, and mobilize farmers worldwide. Our membership is formed by 260 individual female and male farmers from all over the world. For now, we have 67 countries in our membership. Our mission is to amplify the farmer's voice in promoting trade, technology, sustainable farming, economic growth, and food security. We in the Global Farmer Network believe in the power of knowledge transfer, which is why we created this webinar series and offer multiple approaches that focus on action, collaboration, and results that showcase agriculture as part of the solution to the main challenges facing humanity. We invite you to connect with us and follow us on social media and keep an eye out for future webinars. We have two amazing speakers today. We will start with Rosalie Elasus. She's a first-generation farmer and has been farming since 1998. She first planted biotech corn in 2003 on her 6-hectare farm, shortly after its approval in the Philippines. She made her personal mission to share her biotech success story with other smallholder farmers from around the world. Rosalie, it's great to see you. Welcome.
Thank you, and hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening to each and every one of us.
Yes, here in Mexico, it's pretty early in the morning, but for you, it's pretty late at night. So thank you for agreeing to be on this stage. I'm going to share your presentation, Rosalie. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Gina. Well, as Gina said, I started farming the year 1998, and one of the first adopter of biotechnology in the year 2003 when it was commercialized in the Philippines. Next, please. Next slide, Gina. Since everybody knows that the Philippines is being one of the top adopter of biotechnology, especially biotech corn, there was something that happening since 2021 or 2012, 2010 to 2012. But I will tell you first the story about what is going on with the wreath of Kalikasan in the Philippines. The timeline that I know is all about the golden rice and the BT eggplant. The golden rice in July 2021, the biosafety permit for commercial propagation was issued to the DA-Full rice. And the National Seed Industry Council approved the variety registration of RC682 GRD2D, branding as Malusog rice in the year 2022. And the BT eggplant or the biotech eggplant in the October 2022 when biosafety permit for commercial propagation was issued to University of the Philippines. And then in October 17, 2022, when Greenpeace or the Masipag from the Philippines filed at Supreme Court a petition for writ of Kalikasan and continuing mandamus, with prayer for issuance of a temporary environmental protection order for golden rice and the BT eggplant. And in April 2023, when the Supreme Court issued its directive to respondents to the second writ of Kalikasan filed by local anti-biotech groups to submit the response or the verified returns within specified periods. And in May 15, 2023, when the regulatory agencies and the technology developers submit their verified returns. And in June 13, 2023, the Supreme Court referred the case to the Court of Appeals for hearing, reception of evidence, and redemption of judgment. But it so happened in this year 2024, after less than a year, this April 17, the Court of Appeals decision came out. First, the granting of the privilege of the writ of kalikasan. Next slide, please. Sorry. And the next slide then. Right. That's the Court of Appeals decision. Let me tell you all this. I think it was 8 decision that is being uh, released. The granting the privilege of the writ of kalikasan. Second is issuing a writ of continuing mandamus against respondent government agencies. 3 is directing respondent UPLB or the University of the Philippines Los Baños to cease and desist from commercially propagating and conducting activities relating to BT eggplant under the biosafety permit issued therefore. Fourth is the revoking the biosafety permit of commercial propagation of golden rice of respondent Philippine Rice Research Institute or the PhilRice and accordingly. Ordering respondent to cease and desist from commercially propagating and conducting activities relating to golden rice under the biosafety permit issued. The sixth one is the enjoining the commercial propagation and conduct of activities to golden rice and BT eggplant until such time that the concerned respondent government agencies submit proof of safety and compliance with all the legal requirements. Next is ordering concerned respondents government agencies to perform their mandate under the applicable JDC by submitting to this court the concrete mechanisms adopted to monitor all activities conducted under the JDCs and all measures taken to strengthen the risk assessment procedure set forth in the JDC number 1, 2021, in accordance with the ruling in this case. And last is enjoining any application for contained used field field testing, direct use as food or feed or processing, commercial propagation, and importation of genetically modified organisms until compliance with above is established. Next, please. Why is this happening? Why the second writ of kalikasan again was filed by the anti-GMOs or the Greenpeace and Masipag in the Philippines? Well, probably because of the first writ of kalikasan that had been conducting field trials of BT eggplant from 2010 to 2012 in compliance with biosafety permit granted by the Bureau of Plant Industry. In April 2012, when Greenpeace and others submitted a petition to Supreme Court which sought a temporary environmental protection order, or we call it the TEPO, and the issuance of a writ of kalikasan and a writ of continuing mandamus to stop the field trials, arguing that the Philippine regulatory system was inadequate and did not consider the adverse health and environmental impacts of BT eggplant. In the year 2012, month of May, when Supreme Court granted a writ of kalikasan in favor of the petition and so remanded case to the Court of Appeals for hearing of evidence and rendering the judgment. Next slide. So on May 2013, when Court of Appeals Special 13th Division issued its ruling to permanently stop confined field trials of BT eggplant because these allegedly pose risk of human health and the environment and concluded that field trials violated the people's constitutional right to a balanced and healthful ecology and that Philippine government has failed to adopt sufficient biosafety protocols in conducting the trials. That's the reason why Court of Appeals permanently stopped. the confined pill trials of BT eggplant. Respondents filed a motion for reconsideration to the Court of Appeals decision, but Court of Appeals later denied the motion on September 2013. But on November 2013, respondents filed their respective petitions for certiorari at Supreme Court against the Court of Appeals decision. Next page, please. And on the 8th December 2015, when the Supreme Court rendered its unanimous decision, and there were four uh, decisions that came up. The conduct of the assailed field testing for BT eggplant was hereby permanently enjoined. The Department of Agriculture Order Number 8, Series of 2002, is hereby declared null and void, and consequently, any application for contained use, field testing, propagation and commercialization, and importation of genetically modified organisms is temporarily enjoined until a new administrative order is promulgated in accordance with law. On January 2016 to April 2016, several petitions were filed at the Supreme Court appealing its original December 2015 decision. Next page. Then, on April 2016, the Department of Science and Technology, Department of Agriculture, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Department of Health, and Department of Interior Local Government Joint Department Circular Number 1, or we call it the JDC Number 1, Series of 2016 was issued, replacing Department of Agriculture Administrative Order Number 8, Series of 2002. In its resolution, dated July 26, 2016, this resolution, the Supreme Court in bank granted the 9 motions for reconsideration, assailing the decision dated December 8, 2015 in ISAAA, or the International Agricultural et al. And others versus Greenpeace Southeast Asia and others decision. Now, on the next page, please, Gina. With this writ of kalikasan, the 1 and 2 filed by these petitioners, how will this affect me as farmer and my country? Since for now, the golden rice and the BT eggplant been seized and deceased. Well, in my own opinion, by heart, taking away this effective tool, this biotechnology or this innovation from us Filipino farmers, definitely we will go back to square one, like the usual traditional way of farming. Very laborious, crops are infested, low yield and income, and most especially for myself, I will never have no peace of mind like other else. Number 2, with the escalating population, less land due to conversion of agricultural lands to industrial, commercial, and residential, and the devastating global warming. We farmers need biotechnology as an armor and shield to keep our operation profitable, sustainable, provide foods to others, and as well as our family. The golden rice, especially now, being seized and deceased, had been safely developed by the scientists, rigorously tested by the government agencies, monitored and improved to help solve the problem of malnutrition and loss of sight to millions of children. While BT eggplant, like the GMO or the biotechnology corn, which I am planting now, since 2003 to present is a very effective innovation for farmers and consumers as well, not only to boost our income, but avoid the occurrence of aflatoxins and other toxins that is the cause of rejections from the end users like the major feed millers. Less use of chemicals also be avoided that the farmer's health is also one of the main issue in farming. Due to global warming or the climate change, not only in the Philippines, all around the world, the Philippine farmers are anticipating for a drought and excessive water tolerant technology, as well as a nutrient sufficient due to high cost of fertilizers, due to flooding that is unpredictable. Now it's El Nino, it's too hot in the Philippines. This will never materialize. It won't materialize if the court will stop these innovations or technologies developed by the great scientists all around the world. For the Philippines, modern technology or these innovations will help also in biodiversity sustainability and as well as in boosting our economy. Actually, because of getting high yield, we farmers are the one of the biggest distributor of our Philippine economy a little bit higher. Next slide. For the authorities responsible for this decision, I would say we Filipino farmers who are adopters of biotechnology for 2 decades now are always ready to be in witness stand anytime if they want us to be in there, together with the government agencies and scientists or developer to prove the significant benefits of this golden rice and BT eggplant. And me re- let us also remind the court that Philippines is one of the top biotechnology adopters and importers of GMO crops that we've been using for decades. These GMO crops will not be commercialized if they have not passed rigorous process that is safe for human and animals. I got also my cattle around 10 or 12 as well. And we are feeding them with all this biotech corn. They are environmentally friendly and aligned with global safety standards and aim to give us farmers one of the best tools to get us ahead of the challenges of producing safe, nutritious, quantitative food for the escalating populations with less agricultural lands. That the decision maker are also consumers and they've been using these GMO crops since they existed in this world. Next page. And what would improve this situation and what can I do? Again, in my opinion, as a biotech farmer, a, a 2 decades biotech farmer now, the court need to hear the farmers' voices in this important issue, like maybe an open forum. We are ready anytime, together with consumers, the scientists, the academics, and other stakeholders who understand and appreciate the validity of science behind the biotechnology applied in the development of golden rice, BT eggplant, and all other gene- genetically modified organisms. And maybe to ask the decision makers to go out and see in their own eyes how farmers are enjoying now the significant benefits of these tools available in the Philippines, like the biotechnology corn. And I am thinking deeply, probably, maybe I can ask again Erie or Phil Rice to give me few kilos of golden rice available for now, if ever we can, and I will cook and prepare a good meal for them to try, as there is this saying of to see is to believe. Anyway, we farmers, we farmers group already made our position letter and to be published soon, and the Biotechnology Coalition of the Philippines, where I am sitting as a board of director as well, and even the Global Farmer Network already established or already released a statement again for this golden rice, and this golden rice is a golden opportunity which is worth fighting for. Thank you very much, and I hope everybody will understand me as a farmer why I need this biotechnology, not only me but all other farmers in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosalie. What a powerful story you have, and I'm sure there will be a lot of questions coming to you. So for now, I'm going to remove you to the stage. We'll call you again for Q&A. Just a reminder to the audience watching to post your questions on the comment section so we can read it and address them. Now, I'm going to add Guillermo Breton. He is a fifth-generation farmer and agronomist from Tlaxcala, Mexico. He grows corn, triticale, sunflowers, and fig and ryegrass forages. He is involved in barley production as well in the seed program with the Global Beer Company. He also raises beef cattle in his operation. Guillermo, nice to see you. Thank you for being here.
Hello, Gina. Hello, everyone. Good morning in Mexico. I am not a biotech farmer because a lot of issues happening in my country. Can we see the presentation? Thank you. Next, please. In a little bit of me and my farm. I grow cereals, barley, triticale, corn, and also beef cattle, as Gina told us, in the Mexican highlands, in irrigation, and also in rainfed. Next, please. I'm pretty close to CIMMYT, since my father was a collaborator in a farming collaboration with Dr. Borlaug in that research of wheat, in that improvements in the 60s. The pictures, the board of trustees came to my farm last year. Next, please. I'm a member of the Global Farmer Network since 2021. The next, please. So, in my country, talk about corn in my country is special more than other countries because in Mexico is place, the origin place of corn, is a cultural issue, and there are a lot of ideologies about maize, and the custodians of that native varieties, they are not allowing some progress in this crop. Then next, please. Because of that, that ideologies are going to political ideologies, and you know, some politicians have harvest that ideologies with the people, to make some issues against genetic improvement, in Mexico, I think we can't see the GMO corn as an example, but we have some hybrids doing well. That ideologies goes to that ban about the importation of the GMO corn, the yellow one, for livestock destination, and against glyphosate and other herbicides and pesticides. So I participate in the Senate in an open parliament to fight against that bans, and I think we have I don't know if a little win or a big one, because glyphosate is allowed for the next years as long as a new molecule is found, but that will not be in the next years. I think no. We have we are in the more important trade zone with United States and Canada, and Mexico have taken a great progress, and agriculture is not an exception. Since 1994, many farms and farmers specialized and right now they are a great exporters, in avocado, berries, beer, tequila, tomato, a lot of crops, beef cattle. So, and United States have a good agreement with us because they send us a lot of corn, and we have, and our livestock sector have been a lot of benefits about this. So the next, please. This is about our market balance. We used to offer about 22 million tons of corn, basically white corn for tortillas. We are self-sufficient in human consumption, basically tortillas, and we demand about 20 million of tons, basically for livestock. So again, we have a great agreement with the United States and Canada, and we have many benefits. So my government and that ideologies are putting in risk this great agreement. United States are asking us for a panel of controversies. I think we will go through, and we will go through it in a good way, and that will be fine at the end of the story. But that is happened. A little of controversy and nervousism in in the farmers and in the consumers, and they are putting the food safety in a nervous standard. Next, please. I think GMO corn will be planted in Mexico, but I think we are doing well. We are doing well with hybrids for human consumption. We have a good research about this, and I think we don't really need this. So, but of course, if we have a GMO corn, we can enjoy the benefits of this using another herbicides and you know a lot of benefits of using BT corn. But as long as we have that issues with government and custodians and ideologies, we are going well about this. I think technologies is basic for the problems we are passing through, the markets, the high inventories in the grain inventories in the world, the prices of our grains are we as farmers are in a very vulnerable condition because of that prices. So our profits are going to be less and less. So we have to do something, and technology is part of that solution. Technology is about drought. We are suffering about the climate change, and this drought that problems we don't know if we will harvest or not. We need to big support in irrigation technologies, and we need the government goes and put the eyes in that issues, and not just to send the money just for political issues and win the elections. They already won the elections again, but now they need to support our work and support our technology problems because of the markets and because of the climate change. So it's important for us, the next government, support us, but we don't have anything for sure for the next years, and I want our Argentinian colleagues to help us or to tell us what to do with this kind of governments, with this kind of things we will have to pass through maybe in a worse manner than the last government. We hope will be a little better, but we don't have nothing sure. The next, please. I think for the future, we need a strong technology support and public policies to adopt that technologies. We have crops like tequila, like agaves. Tequila is taking a great taste in the world, and the agave farmers are growing and planting a lot of hectares, and that areas used to be planted or sowing for corn or other grains are planted are now planted with agaves for tequila. So we need technologies to support our necessities, our demand of corn for human consumption and for cattle consumption also. Even we have covered that consumptions with importations from United States principally. So technologies are so important for Mexican future and for agricultural future in the globe. Thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you, Guillermo. And Rosalie, thank you. Very powerful stories that you both have. And Guillermo, as a Mexican too, as a dairy farmer myself, I know the struggles that we're going through. And I thank you for sharing also about the trade deal that we have with the US and Canada. It has been 30 years of that, of the signature of that trade deal. And I know as a dairy farmer that my farm would certainly not be as efficient as it is without that trade agreement and without the benefits of Mexican farmers being able to import the GM corn that they plant so I can feed my cattle as well as you might probably do. So, quick follow-up question for you, Guillermo, before we move on from questions from the audience. In the past webinar, we learned about telomerase and the possibility also for native and NGT seeds to coexist. Do you think, in your opinion, is it worth it not to accept such technologies just to and prevent farmers from doing better and sacrifice perhaps a great trade deal with our most important economic partners just for ideology purposes? Do you think it's worth it to be with that conflict?
I think NGTs could be great for us if we have a variety in 2 years instead of 10, 12 years, could be great for us, and that variety could be drought tolerant. So that could be great for us, but that ideologies in Mexico could stop that genetic improvements. So maybe we will be in a conventional genetic progress instead of that NGT technologies. So it's could be great. I don't think they will allow these technologies.
Yeah, just for context for the audience, we just had elections in Mexico, and the ruling party, which is the one that has prevented and promoted a lot of the speech against technology, is now constitutional. And our new president-elect, Ms. Sheinbaum, has said in his closing speech right before the elections that she won't allow this technology. And I know that after a couple of years of drought, it would be good to have a technology that was drought resistant. And Rosalie, you were also sharing about climate change and drought in the Philippines, and members of Global Farmer Network in your country have also shared the struggles that you were going through. When you first planted these technologies, what were the positive changes that you experienced as a farmer, just to let the audience that may not be familiar with these technologies know how you were benefit?
Well, actually, when I started farming in the year 1998, definitely I was involved with these traditional farmers, and I learned farming through them and the government through the integrated pest management because I am a zero knowledge in farming. But after learning that IPM and coming up is this genetically modified organisms, or the BT corn, the very first BT that existed in my country, I saw a big difference from this conventional and this GMO corn. Me as a woman, me as a mother, me as a widow, and I have nobody to help me in the farm but to get a labor, to get workers in the farm, and myself. Of course, I have to stick because in this BT corn, because I saw a potential, I saw this significant benefits that I got from it. I always say I get peace of mind. I don't need to go to the field every day. I don't need to check early in the morning if there is a insect or any infestation that my corn is having in there. You see, it's like I'm just sipping a coffee, and I can see once they've been grown very healthy with all the green leaves and everything. Just do your, of course, in connection with the IPM, when you will use the fertilizers and everything, the corn, you can see the cleanliness, like it's a manicured thing with even the weed resistant, right? And the yield, especially me. If I get yield, I can send the children to school. I can even help the community. There's a lot of things that I got or that benefited me being a woman farmer in the Philippines. A lot.
Absolutely. Again, very powerful. Just like 3 weeks ago in the past webinar, we had a video sent by one of our members, Motlatsi Musi, that had also shared that very same thing. A male farmer from South Africa and a female farmer from the Philippines sharing all those benefits from the same technologies that allow you as head of families to do better, to focus on your own activities instead of spending so much time out in the field, because you have peace of mind, just like you said, that your corn is going to do well without your supervision 100% of the time there.
Exactly.
And
True.
with better yields, you have better income so that you can send your children to school. I think that is the most powerful testament of why farmers need access to technologies on a very personal level that should connect with every single people that is listening to us. We should be thankful for farmers for feeding us, if we're lucky, 3 times a day, every day. But these
Right.
technologies allows us farmers to do that to deliver that purpose. And we do it with passion and trusting science, which is what you also have shared, both of you, the importance of science. So, question to both of you. I'm going to start with you, Rosalie. Why do you think there's still an array of problems and misinformation and perhaps a movement of anti-science when we, for the past 2 decades, and this is a comment from a member from India, we have known about golden rice and its nutritious benefits, especially for children, because of the beta carotene that it contains, preventing children from going blind. Why now do you think anti-technology messages have risen?
Well, first, the misinformation. And these people or the antis don't really want to understand the science in this biotechnology, in this technology. Or maybe they want the farmers or the real farmers. I don't know if they are also real farmers. I don't know if they understand the difficulty of the farmers. Why are they doing that? Well, probably there are some people behind them. Well, not like us, we don't depend on the people who will teach us what to do. We are farmers who wants to do things that is good for us, to do things that is good for other farmers, to help other farmers, to alleviate poverty. But to them, I can't understand. Is it there is money behind? I'm not too sure. I'm just too honest with it because in the back of my mind, it's a big question. Why they don't like to understand this wonder of biotechnology? And sometimes the social media, like others, they will say it's cancerous, it's everything, it's like it's a monster, it's against, it's not good for human, it's not good for animals. Are they not trying it? Do you think they are not eating food with soya or with soy sauce? Are they not eating food like the soya bean or anything else? So what's the reason behind why they are still there? Because they don't like to understand, they don't like to face what really science is in this technology, I guess.
Thank you. Your thoughts, Guillermo, especially when you mentioned uh, our colleagues in Argentina that have benefited from this technology. Why do you think in our country here in Mexico, there's a reason a rise, anti-technology messages are in the rise?
Yeah, I think uh, we need to communicate better to the consumers. Many people thinks the organic production is the good one, and they don't even know nothing how that organic
Sure.
product or that organic crops have been growth. Um, we are doing a lot of things for the environment, for the soil, uh, for the mitigation and adaptation to climate change, but we are not not saying, not communicate in a good manner, because we are farmers. We are not politicians. We are not we are not
True.
uh, uh, we are not communicators. We have no programs in TV or radio. We are in the land, in the soils, and doing well. So I think we have to be closer to the consumers, saying what are we doing. So
Yes.
the consumers are hearing the antis,
Yeah.
the science. They are not hearing us. So that's why Global Farmer Network is a great organization to make us as farmers to raise our voice and to learn how to speak and where to speak and to who speak. So I think that's a good homework we have for the future times. And other thing, we have to be closer to the research centers. We have to be closer to the science. The scientists have to be closer to us. So we have to be closer. I think the scientifics are in their papers, in their research, and they are doing well. But that scientific progress is not coming to the farms as quick as we need, I think.
Absolutely agree 100% with you, because that is the problem that I personally encounter here in Mexico. Nobody was talking about dairy. Nobody was promoting its consumption aside from our dairy brands here for commercial purposes, of course. So me as a farmer decided to share my story, and to also, when I began, I put every scientific paper in every post I've made on social media just to try to counteract all those negative comments. But I did it for myself and just with one purpose in mind. If I could change one person's mind around milk or around how the way we treat our cattle, that was for me a job well done. And I bet that you as farmers do the same, because that is our purpose in the GFN, to amplify our voices as farmers so that policymakers, consumers, journalists, scientists that work with us but are, like Guillermo just has said, far away from us sometimes, can hear our voices and share our stories as well as they were if their own. Rosalie, yours star storyteller, a final message to our audience, please, regarding this very important topic.
Well, to everyone who is listening to us now or watching us in this webinar, well, let us all get together. Let us be hand in hand, and let us help this world, this wonderful world, the whole universe. Let us feed the world. Let us feed the children, especially the malnutrition. In the Philippines, a lot of children are becoming blind, and we want you to help us, be with us, and help us fight with this golden rice. Not only golden rice, even the BT eggplant, because BT eggplant, they are spraying how many times? Around 75 times of chemicals. So please be with us. Try to understand us farmers. Let us all be together and fight together. Thank you.
Thank you. And I love the invitation to your own kitchen so they can try a safe, nutritious meal prepared with those technologies. That has
Yes.
much power behind it. And if I could, I would be there in your kitchen helping you cook so others can try. I have a comment from Illinois in the USA before we go to Guillermo's last comments that GMOs increase their yields by 30 to 40%. And the challenge still is throughout the world is to get policymakers to understand the benefits of GMOs, offset all kinds of risks. Guillermo, your final comments, please.
Thank you. I think, again, technology is an ally. Technologies can save us, as in that Dr. Borlow's research in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, where population was growing, and the malnutrition pyramid tolls in that times the feeds will be not sufficient for the people. The genetic improvements did that difference and save a lot of lives. And I think we have the climate problems, the market problems, and technology again could be the saver, the item who can save us as farmers for our profitability and the inventories of feedstuffs in the world. So again, technology is our ally. Again, thank you.
Technology is certainly our ally. It has been through history of agriculture as we have evolved, learned, and improved our methods and ways of working. So I cannot wait to see the next decades what technology can bring us. And in that note, I just want to remind everyone to follow Global Farm Network on social media. You can visit our website as well, because in 3 weeks we will have another webinar regarding how the political environment affects farmers, because more than 60% of the world will have elections or have had elections during this year. And we're just talking about how policymakers need to listen to farmers. So don't hesitate to register for that one. Information will be coming shortly. Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you, Rosalie. And thank you to our audience that are watching all over the world. See you next time.
Ciao.
See you. Thank you very much.